All set for the next panel discussion of the day. The topic is managing students' learning curve with innovative methods. I would request Mr. Govind Mudliar, Director, Empower Entrepreneurs, to come on the stage. He would be the moderator for this panel discussion. The other panelists are Ms. Isabel Swami, President, Sahodaya Indore. I would request ma'am you to please join us on the stage. Madam Poonam Shekhawat, Secretary, Sahodaya Indore. I would request Mr. Dali Jacob, Manager, Ideal International School, to please join us on the stage. International School, Indore. Over to you, Mr. Mudliar.
The number is, since morning, though it was less, but it has now gradually reducing. But I think Mr. Jacob was sharing with me, even if one student is there in the classroom, we'll make it to it will go so amplified that the meanings, the teacher can make it to 1,000. The message can reach to 1,000 people. So with that, even if few, I assume that though there are few listeners, but they are quality listeners. I'm assuming this. This is one more thing which relates to the topic, 40 minutes. So we've been given 40 minutes and we'll try to make it as early as possible, and we'll see that the learning outcomes, reaches before 40 minutes. So that's another thing, and that is what we are going to, learn from here, how our students learn in those 40 minutes. The topic of the day is learning curve, managing the learning curve with the innovative methods. So learning curve is one of the buzzword, and innovative method is the another word, which will actually take you to all these six elements which they have mentioned in the Bloom. One is explore, another is identify, from that synergize, believe, bloom, discover. Everything should happen in 40 minutes. This is what we expect out of a student. Acha.
Sorry?
There's some problem, I believe. Yeah. No, I think.
We are not able to hear properly.
Okay. And I have to bear with my voice also. I'm not well.
Can we have these monitors on, please?
Is it okay?
No, they are not on them yet. Yeah.
Hello. Is it okay now?
Better.
Yeah. I have a different frequency of my voice. Today I'm down with my voice, so you have to bear with that. So I'm just talking about the learner today. Learner is the child, keeping the child as a central position. The whole education system, the whole ecosystem of the education has been designed and developed. So we will try to keep the entire discussion of ours, the learners, not only the student, but as a teachers, as the administrator, as a part of education fraternity, how we learn. That is where the whole discussion will try to keep it, and we'll try to keep it as far informal as possible. So that will give us a lot of room to actually learn. You've been, all three of you have been, managing schools for years, and then some of you are into Sahodaya also, so managing multiple schools, you see, through Sahodaya, which is a very beautiful concept of CBSE. So to begin with the discussion, what are the major challenges? How the student of modern time is different from the student of our time. We always have a gap of generation. But we always come with a perspective that it's an evolution process, but we really do not evolve sometimes. So, in your own perspective, with your own experience, could you please share one by one, what are the major challenges which you face? We'll start from there, though since morning, the ladies have been given opportunity, but Madam Isabel told me that you should start with Jacob sir. So, Mr. Jacob, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mudalia. And the question is very relevant today. How are the students different from the times that we have been to? I would just give a very small example, and that is, yesterday I was at a function, and there were about 2,500 students from grades 9 to 12 gathered there for a national session which was conducted by very young, energetic, enterprising youngsters. A group of a group of youngsters were holding this great national event. And they were trying to get some noise out of these children. They said, so how is the Josh? No response. Out of 2,500, hardly 25 must have raised their hands and said, hi sir. Then they tried, okay, there's one, famous song, we will rock you. This man came up on the stage, he tried stamping the foot and clapping. Okay, at the count of 1, you stamp the left foot, then 2 the right, and then at the count of 3, you clap. It is going to be, and then they were supposed to sing, we will rock you. We all have grown up listening to these songs. Sitting there at the audience, at the front line, I was almost thrilled, and I told people around me, chalo, if children are not doing, let's do it. Children did not even bother to do it. And then out of curiosity, I just turned around and I saw most of them were busy with their mobile phones. So, they are just busy with themselves. They are not worried what is going around. They must, some of them I am sure, must also been watching the live telecast of that same event which they are attending there.
But in the mobile.
Yeah. So, I just shared with some of my friends that today's generation has become irresponsive. They don't respond. In the classroom, they have to ask if we are, I got to teach grades 11th and 12th. I tell them that this is the last 2 years or the last 1 year of your schooling. And whatever you learn in the school is retained for the rest of your life, not what you learn in the universities. That's only honing, fine honing of the skills and knowledge that we acquire from the school. They are amidst the students whom they have grown up with in the past 12, 13 or 15 years. A grade 12 student must have been with this set of groups, students, right from nursery. That means 14 years. But he's ashamed to speak in front of them for the fear of going wrong. So, we are heading to, such a generation, I would say. I don't know if I'm sounding pessimistic or negative. I don't intend to. I wish that I be proved wrong, and we are all as educators now with the diverse applications or implementation of diverse techniques like it's written here. Earlier also they were learning through exploration, discovery, adventure. We all heard these terms 20-25 years back when the initial multimedia computers were introduced, and NIT had come with this, concept of learning through exploration, discovery, and adventure, LIDA, and they had come out with CD-ROMs, which are topics like setonica, set theory, or let's say photosynthesis, plant kingdom. They used to. So that has come into a more diverse, more adaptable, accessible, into clubbed with the modern technology in today's times, which will definitely at some point of time, though I said that students are irresponsive and they are under the fear of going wrong, but so we need to, as teachers and as parents, we need to be optimistic, persistent, and trying to get best out of them. So, in this regard, I would only say that we keep doing what we are supposed to do till the time we can. Jab tak ke jaye.
Fair enough. Yes, though you said that you should be proved wrong, you would like to prove yourself wrong because the children are now more drawn towards, the single device mobile, and this is what is a challenge which the parents also of today's era are also facing. A lot of, receiving a lot of queries from parents that children are addicted to mobile, and, that's the fact of the day. But that's the reason why we are sitting here. To find out, to find the solution, right? Let us brainstorm and understand. So, is it like we do not understand our child as a learner today? Is there a difference, or is there a situation where we are not understanding the environment, the society, and then we are pushing through our education processes and the factory process, the education factory process, and is that where we have gone wrong? Yes. Madam Isabel.
Good evening, sir, and good evening everyone present here. And first of all, thank you for giving this opportunity, Bloom, and we are all very happy. All of us are here, but of course, very handful of people are here, as sir said in the beginning. Okay, all our quality listeners, so it's okay. And we are here to learn from each other. It's not just gyan baatne ke liye nahi hai. Always, sometimes we need to gather knowledge also from each and everyone wherever it is possible. So, thank you for giving this opportunity. And sir, you were asking about this question and how far you find the difference between the students of past and now, the present generation. As at the beginning, as we were discussing, of course, the generation gap is there. And along with the generation gap, I think the learning gap is also there, as per the experiences over the past years. And what I feel like, of course, I've been in this educational fraternity for the past 33 years, maybe for 2 to 3 years, 4 years as a teacher, and then afterwards then as a maybe principal for the past 25 to 30 years. So many various kinds of children we have come across right from the beginning until now for the past 30 years. Of course, definitely we all would agree there is a lot of changes among the children, those who were 30 years before, 40 years before, and now the present children. But I think now present children, they are all very energetic and ready to accept changes. Maybe if we talk about this generation gap, as you said, sir, we'll all the time, we stick to our own age-old points, age-old things, and we may not be ready to accept the changes. But today's children, as per the situation, as per the exposure what they get, and they are ready to accept the changes. And of course, a lot of changes are there among the children. Maybe it is positive changes also, negative changes. Both it is there, positive and negative things. And we'll have to look into the positive aspect of the children. And then, if the children are not listening, we need to cater their needs as teachers. So we have to also adjust ourselves. We need to also put ourselves into their shoes, and we'll have to find out what all the changes taking place now. As per the changes, we need to adapt ourselves, put ourselves, and we need to find out new innovative methods and what they need. If they are all techno-savvy, instead of telling, it is said already, it's always said, instead of blaming the darkness, it's better to light a candle. So like that, instead of simply blaming the children. आजकल का generation ऐसा है, they don't listen and they are not very obedient and they are not very cooperative and they don't listen. Instead of that, so let us try to bring solution in that. For example, if the children are techno savvy, and let us change ourselves to be that. Maybe it must be a bit difficult for us at our age, maybe we are all above 50s sitting here. It may not be that easy, but still, now the teachers and lecturers and college, whoever is working, everybody is adapting themselves to the new changes. Especially all the new technology and technical changes, everything we are. So I feel that if the children have changed, if the generation has been changed, we as teachers, the greatest responsibility is entrusted to us, towards the society, towards the children. So we need to also change ourselves so that we can bring change in the children and we can, to their way we can go and then teach them what they want and we can make them to be the better citizens of our country.
Very well said. I mean, to change the child, let us change ourselves. I mean, this is what...
Be the change which you want.
Be the change what you want, actually. Over to you, Madam Poonam. See, I mean, when I see these two things, in fact, there are two possible solutions. एक तो लोहा लोहा को काटता है, kind of, diamond cuts diamond, you know. So, technology-wise, children are, you know, they are very much inclined to this technology. I mean, they understand technology better than the teachers. I mean, this is what it is said most often than not. So is it like giving the technology, you know, tech-enabled things open, you know, in the classroom, like it is already happening in many schools. So can that be a solution? Or many parents come to me and say that you put them into the play field, mobile game se uthakar real game mein leke aaiye. So there are two possible solutions. So what is your opinion on this? I mean, like, how do you handle it?
Thank you so much, sir. And I would say this is one of the burning question, you know, how to strike a balance between the usage of the technology and the old systems. First of all, we should all understand that the kind of children who are coming to us in the school, they are more informed, more knowledgeable, and have better understanding than what we used to be when we were in the school. We were passive listeners and obedient students. Whatever was being told to us, we followed. But today, when you enter a classroom of 35 students, they have high IQ because of the exposure. And the topics that you teach in the class, they already have a background of it. So if a teacher walks into the classroom with a textbook and starts teaching in that old traditional way, let us all accept the fact, gone are the days that children are going to listen to you. So intervention of technology is important. Secondly, since technology, because of the COVID, all of us have become pro. Now we cannot say that we don't know, even the children, the parents, the teachers, all of us. So what I think is that the time that a teacher spends in the classroom, instead of writing on the board, the teacher should have more of the interaction in the class, more of the questioning in the class, using more of the visual aids, animation. You know, there are a lot of techniques which have come in because it is easier for the children to understand. That is number one. Technology's intervention is making the teaching and learning little easier. One. Number two, when the parents come and tell you that put the children on the field. Today I had PTM in the school and one of the mothers said, Madam, I have stopped using the mobile because I want to set an example in front of my child. Since I don't use it, you also don't use it. So I told her very politely that, Madam, you are wrong. You must use your mobile in front of your child and let the child learn that you are using it for education purpose. You are using it for enhancement of your knowledge. And let the child also use, but then the usage has to be mindful. I also told her that if, a lot of parents say that we allow them to use the mobile in front of us. That's fine, what the child is looking into the screen, we may not be able to know it. Let the child telecast on the TV, you will see what the child is observing. So at this point of time, the children cannot be separated from technology. Let us understand. It is very important and need of the hour as well. But then, yes, of course, all of us have to work very hard to make them understand the mindfulness, what is right, what is wrong. So that appropriateness has to be inculcated, and it is not only the job of the teachers or the school, it is together a collaborative effort of, the teacher, the principal, the parents, and all of us. So technology has made it easier for us.
Very well. I mean, you have just mentioned a very important stakeholder, parent.
Yeah.
Parent are also a different parent, during our days.
See,
we had a
NEP
different
says that parents have to partner the journey of learning of the child. So of course, yes.
I have two very interesting questions to ask with you. I mean, I'll come to that. But parent, if you look at the school today, across school, the major school principals and owners, they face a challenge. Parents want the syllabus to be completed. I think in the morning,
100%
in the morning, somebody asked, I was there since morning and watching the various panel discussions. One of the panel discussions, the question came, in fact, I thought that question should be addressed here.
Yes.
It's like, they have a fixed syllabus. A social science teacher in the morning asked this. He's been teaching the same syllabus for last 15, 20 years, which is actually, he feels that it is an outdated one. So how can we make the subject so interesting in 40 minutes and, cater to that problem of parent also, the syllabus complete ho gaya. I mean, because, whatever we say, despite of the new education policy, which is awesome, we've been discussing on various forums about NCF and NEP, and teachers are also working very hard. But how this word will flow to the parents? Because end of the day, parent, get in your PTMs, you will be observing this, they get into the business like when the syllabus is getting completed. Even today, if a question is asked out of, book, the parent has a complaint. So book becomes a centric.
Yes.
Then, the other, like technology should become should play a role. Instead of that, even today the books are playing a bigger role too. So how do you handle the parent aspect in terms of finishing this?
I have experimented this, so surely I would want to share this with you all. One thing is there, of course what you are saying is right. First I'll take up that question, that social science thing that you were saying. Now suppose you are teaching about, different historical places. Instead of reading that it has minaret, this is the height, this is that, why can't we tell the children that, okay, there are a lot of travelogues being made these days, So let us search, and then best of the travelogue that you share in the class will be awarded. The learning remains the same, and unknowingly, since it is interesting, the children are going to watch it. And by the end of the session, if you ask them questions, trust me, it will be like, the movie that we watch in 3 hours, you ask anything, even the color of the dress, that gets registered in our mind because we were focusing. So these kind of things, we need to change our teaching methodology. One, you have changed the methodology, but then parent is on that same platform. So that gap has to be bridged. So one thing that I do is that whatever the teachers do in the class, they use a video, they use a presentation, their style of teaching in the class is different. So by the end of day, if you write circulars, you write something, parents don't read anything. Trust me, they don't read. So what I've done is that before the new week commences, the teacher prepares an outline that these are the things that I'm going to use in the classroom. This will be the trajectory of the lesson. A voice note is being sent to them. along with a 5-page summary to the parent 1 week prior to that this is what is going to happen. So in one way, the orientation of the parent also takes place, one, because they will expect what you want them to expect. They will not lay their own expectations because you have already oriented them, so their expectations will revolve around what you have told them. So I would say that this kind of change that we are trying to bring is not going to happen in isolation. So we need like all of us are undergoing a lot of trainings, the teachers are undergoing. So don't forget that parent also has to play a pivotal role, and they have also to be mainstreamed. And once their perception changes, it will. I'll give you a very small example, a KG2 parent coming and telling me, you have taught Uka Matra and my child is not able to read those 4 words which you have given in the text, but is able to read the other words which are here and there written on the signages. So I said, ma'am, what are you trying to tell me? If the child has learned Uki Matra, he can read all the words which has Uki Matra. She kept on telling me, no, don't teach those another 10 words, teach those 4 words which are written in the text. So then, of course it was difficult. I said, I know, as a parent your expectation is right. First let the child read those 4 words, then go beyond those 4. But then it is not wrong. And when you also said that if the questions are designed in a way that they look like they are out of course, but of course they are conceptual questions. So again, if you only show your conceptual or your learning in the question paper, it's going to be hue and cry. But if you make it a habit when you give your revisions, the way you handle questions, if you do them in the classroom also, that level will come down. So in a nutshell, the parent is also the center person, and then probably that change will happen gradually.
Fair enough. In fact, I have had one question framed, I wish the stall owners who are there would have been here. In fact, this question actually interests them, because in that case, the discussion would have been more meaningful, but they are missing. They are missing. They are missing the business, let me tell you.
Sorry to interrupt, but I would like to add something to what Poonam said.
Yeah, please.
See, we are basically discussing on learning curve, okay? And as you just said one sentence, all that we are discussing so far, no, this term learning curve has not come up in any of our, whatever we spoke.
Yeah, I wanted to come to that,
Yeah.
please.
So I thought it has also relevance. Now we were speaking about parents. Parents play, I would say, in today's scenario, the most important role, more than teachers. Earlier, there used to be, a belief that Guru Govind Dono Khade, all those things. But nothing like that. Because now people are, at least I have seen in the city, people are growing up into, I don't say, and when I say people, when I say parents, it's not all, but majority. They are growing up with a mindset that, we are paying, education is paid, teachers are our servants, and we talk about teachers. Teachers also have lost their integrity at many times. Why? Because they change jobs for a few hundreds, one. And कुछ लोगों को तो ऐसे लगने लग गया है, टीचिंग तो कोई भी कर सकता है, शादी नहीं हो रही है तब तक टीचिंग कर लेते हैं, बैंक में एग्जाम दिया है उसका रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहा तब तक टीचिंग कर लेते हैं. So these kind of teachers, and what happens is, it's not that like any of our schools employ such teachers, but what happens, we employ them in good spirit, and some of them turn out to be hungry for another $500 or $1,000, one. So with this, teachers also helped to contribute this negativity. But parents today, they think that, many of them are worshippers or believers only for, maybe some particular cause. They want to show off, they want to, they only go to ask, they only ask God, when we are given the exam, we are going for this, going for that. So this consumeric, let's say, mentality of the parents, see, children do. We shall always remember that. Children see what the parents do. We don't need to give them, speak examples to them. We just act and they see. Children see, children learn. So they pick up each and everything that happens at their homes done by their parents. I was surprised once, it happened 2-3 years back. I was standing at the gate of, school entrance gate, and a parent was walking in with maybe a grade 1 child, and he was literally saying these words, कौन है वो टीचर जो तुम्हें वो किया था, चलो मैं उसका 12 बजाता हूँ. And father was talking to maybe a grade 1 child, and as he was walking into the school.
They are not setting an example. This is what you
Yes.
say, right?
So,
okay,
as ma'am said,
I have shortage of time, so 10 minutes. I think I have an important question to
Okay,
ask,
yes.
actually, because that will be more important. There are n number of technology and methods, innovative methods now. If you go out in the world, there are n number of technology. There are many companies which has come with lot of solutions, lot of startups in edutech, tech market today. As a school owner, very important, quickly, one by one, each one of you, I wanted to understand, to make the learning effective, how do you choose the technology? I'm very much interested to learn, because this is something which I have to do for my own schools, you see. So, your experiences. How do you choose technology? Because there are, today we have array of technology, array of method. How do you choose the best one for yourself?
I would categorize it, the what area of skill or knowledge that we want to test. One.
Correct. Very
That
nice.
is, so area is important. Then to which level, let's say now, right from very simple arithmetic test to complex test and psychoanalysis test. Okay, now some schools are even taking that. Or to talk about, diverse fields, subjects.
I just connect this question with your previous discussion. Like in the beginning, at the outset, you said, now education is becoming nuclear. It is more of nuclear part. Like every individual is learning through his own mobile phone. Can we select out of these technology, like individualized learning, which we are talking about? Can we use our technology that way? Can we select it from that perspective?
See, as far as I have seen, and in my last 28 years of experience as a teacher, and last 10 years of experience as a principal, where technology was intensely used in the education. So, gone are those days now, like where there used to be a TV, there used to be a screen, okay, that used to be adorning the class rooms. But now there are complex like things. Now if we can get out, there are interactive TVs. I mean, you can do anything. I used to believe that if you can think it, you can do it. So that has become just true. Now we are not limited to one, particular device.
So
to
it
use
is
the
multiple
technology.
devices, and you have to be very careful.
Right
while
from a
choosing.
small, device to such huge TV, interactive TVs outside, and this, display panels behind. But only thing is that identifying what is to be given to whom. So I always used to believe that teachers will always exist. They will exist between the student and the technology as a filter.
Fine. That is my next question to you, madam. We have very less time. It is said, the limit of a child, limit of a learner or a student is the limit of a teacher. Like, how good your teacher are, how good a teacher is, So, if you look at in the whole education ecosystem today, and even if you look at NEP, teacher is going to play an important role. How to equip the teacher of tomorrow for
All right.
this learning curves, for achieving these learning outcomes?
All right. First, even though it is not being asked to me, but I would say that interactive panels with Wi-Fi connection in the classroom are magical. It becomes the blackboard also, you write, you save, next day you come to the class, you have a reference. Everything is in one folder and it saves upon a lot of time. So this is one of the things which is really working well, one. Second, when you spoke about technology, I would say that language labs are also playing a pivotal role. Normally, one teacher taking up the class, giving 2 minutes time, 3 minutes time to one child, but if you have a well-settled language lab with a proper software, all 30, 40 children, they get quality time, 40 minutes. So again, that is playing a good role in the language improvement. And third thing, what you said about, equipping the teachers regarding the technology,
Because that is very, very challenging now.
It is challenging, but I
Teachers
would...
training is very, very important. So how do you?
See, first of all, we as educators, ma'am has a different school, I have a different school, sir has a different school, and all of us are catering to different socio-economic background of the students. So what works well in her school may not be functional in mine, and vice versa. So first, as leaders, we should identify the kind of infrastructure you have, the kind of teachers you have. Everybody will not become a horse. So identify the potential of the teachers, and then instead of, diving into the ocean of technology, identify 8 to 10 things that these are workable and are easy, and again, the consumer should also be comfortable. I may choose anything, So that should also be there, and then work upon those things. Like, these days, we don't have the concept of almanac in the school, all the homeworks are going digital, all right? The worksheets are sent in digital mode, so that is again thing. The teachers should learn to make videos, the teachers should learn to explore multiple tools which are available. There are a lot of educational websites, which gives. Now, when I say lot of educational websites, as a leader, I should not leave this open-ended question. I should be able to guide my teachers that access these 10 websites till grade 4 for this particular subject. So if you guide them step by step, everyone will be able to do it. But if we just lay down our expectations and do not navigate them, then it is a failure.
Fine, I'm running short of time, and I think this was more of an informal session I have seen. We have, if anybody is having question, we have 3 minutes time to go. We can open the session for the house. Very less people there.
If no questions, I would like to just, complete what ma'am said.
Please, please.
I don't say that what she said is incomplete, but I mean, a different thought came into my mind. You asked about equipping teachers. See, CBSE as a, national and international board now takes up all the possible things. I have also experience with CIS, for the ICSE schools, CISE. I've seen that these boards have become aware that it is very important to equip the teachers. So there are numerous workshops. I would say like CBSE organizes hundreds of workshops a year. Every day there is some workshop. Be it STEM learning, be it robotics, be it skill learning, be it, you name it, and CBSE is coming out with solutions. So teachers need to adapt first. They need to understand what is the need of the hour, because all those who cannot adapt will be outdated, thrown out from wherever we are. Now the weather changes. If if it becomes warm, we are not able to remove our blazers, then we will die of, heat. So it's just as simple as that. Teachers should be able to adapt and change themselves. And in order to change, they cannot change the rest, they will have to change themselves.
Very nice. quickly, I would like to conclude. It is adaptability to the change. And as per the student, as you started the conversation in the beginning, as per the child, we need to understand, as per the mood of the child, we need to change and we have to evolve. I think learning is an evolving process and we should keep evolving. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, I'm sure the audience has been benefiting even on YouTube Live, though we have fewer audience, but I'm sure whatever learning we are carrying, it's absolutely good. And definitely, teachers, if you get one passionate teacher, one life, hundreds of lives are changed, I'm sure. And I can see the podium is always wise, full of wisdom. So it's time for felicitation. So,
Ma'am, just sorry to interpreters here. We are at stall 22. Since you all are principals and you are leading in the academic field, I would like to know what features do you people look for while deciding what software gets integrated into your school? Let's say Ryan Public School, right? Or sorry, Ryan International. Let's say St. Mary's or Catalyst World School. What are the prime features that your school or you look for while making a decision that which software to pick, which AI to pick? Because since these are tools and I am a tool maker, I would like to know from your mouth what are the things that would make you invest in my product per se.
So ideally,
In
you are
fact,
preparing your next pitch.
Thank you so much.
This question I already posed, but
When the whole world was stuck, knowing what to do now in 2020, when COVID struck, like everyone, suddenly, there was a sudden transition. I would just say, I appreciate everyone who is in the education field. Why? Because those who were doctors, they remained doctors. Those who were policemen, they remained policemen. Those who were doodhwalas, they just remained doodhwalas. But teachers, they were the one who changed, transformed overnight. Okay. Now coming to what I was trying to say, we also, as usual, we went with Google, Meet, we went to Zoom, all those things. Then we found now there are, naughty students in the class. Aajkal, they do naughty things in a different way. कोई आके कुछ लिख के चला गया, पता नहीं कौन आया था, लिंक भेज दिया था, कौन आया था पता नहीं, कोई आके कुछ चला गया. Then Ryan Group, sorry, I'm not branding my brand here. It's like Ryan Group came out with an immediate solution that they partnered with Topper first, and then now it is practically, the partnership is between practically. They suddenly developed an OS, a software called Ryan OS, which enabled or ensured the students entered through the Ryan platform. Everybody, nobody is there with, they cannot change their names. They are there in a secure platform. Anyone does anything, that is identified and addressed. And I'm sure, see, most of the schools everywhere has the same requirement in terms of teaching math, science, social studies. Across the boards also, you talk about CISE or CBSE, there may be, methodology may change. Okay, it's just as simple as that. She may prepare dal in her way, I may prepare it in a different way. No, it's just, the composition is going to be the same, the things are going to be the same, but the method would be different. So, the requirement also, there will be hardly any minute change which it would be required.
I just would like to conclude as an extension. One thing which we see is user-friendly. It should be user-friendly, one. Second, the cost. Cost is a very important factor. And third, the relevance of the technology in the classroom. How relevant is this to my student, my learners? These are the certain things which we look forward. But what happens is there are many players. So you need to, I can understand from which perspective you have asked this question. You want to be competent, So if you want to be competent, you need to, reach out to the decision maker. That's very important. Yeah, very nice.
One of the most
service.
important feature that we
Is-
all look for is more or less the products remain the same. But then post services, when you buy a product, it looks fancy and for a couple of months it is fine. But then, since the other user is new user, when the teachers start using, students start using, we have glitches. And then, you keep on reaching to the team and then there is no response and that actually pisses off. So one of the most important thing is that you should have your product, even the smallest of the school must have used. But if you have references, who have used your product for 1 year, 2 year, and you have proved to be an exemplary post services you've been able to provide, that plays a pivotal role. Otherwise, more or less, the products are the same.
So let's promise
Thank
the
you.
after sales and let us get entry into these
Yeah,
three
the support
schools.
system.
We'll all go together. And please stay on the stage. May I please request Mr. Ravindra Kumar Malviya, who's the President of MP Board Indore Schools, to felicitate Mr. Govind Mudliar ji. May I please request Mrs. Neha Jain, MD, Bloom Time, to felicitate Mr. Govind Mudliar.